Big on a minute and 10 seconds.
Give us some time. 1 minute.
You like the Viper white jerseys?
They're okay.
The Dragon and Vipers look exactly the same.
Probably use this same template.
Yeah.
"20 seconds to go."
The Battlehawks looks like a Madden team. Most of these look like a Madden team. Like those.
Better or worse than the AAF, though?
Better than the AAF.
Yep. 3 seconds. Going live. Going live. Let's hit that intro.
$10.
Sports.
All right, everybody. It's $10 Sports. Hope you're having a great evening. It's your host, Moose. I think we're at episode 13 of $10 Sports. We've made it so far. Lucky number 13 for us. Again, hope you're having a great evening as we prepare for week 14 of the NFL season, as well as go over our amazing picks for week 13 of kind of a surprising week in the NFL. As usual, co-host is here. Let's give it up for MRod. MRod is here with us tonight. There it is. We've got the applause. Oh, I got some sounds for you. Let's get the reggaeton horn. There we go. Reggaeton horn for you.
Oh, good.
If you're gonna announce me like that, I want some, like a round of applause or something. So.
And I'll get the round of applause on the soundboard next time. But reggaeton horn for now. Hope you're having a great night, Mike. Welcome to $10 Sports, our latest episode. We're going live.
We are live, so no editing. So no, try to keep it PG-13 if we can. And I don't think you went over the ways to listen to us.
That's right.
You got the YouTube Live, and Moose. What else? How else can these people listen to us?
Yes, we have the YouTube, Mike. Like you're 80 years old. We have the YouTube on our the channel. Balls, Brews, and Bros, the YouTube channel. You can watch us live, like you are right now. But we more often than not do our pre-recorded shows, and then we'll load those up onto YouTube. And we'll do a live show every once in a while. We get excited to do our live shows. So Balls, Brews, and Bros, search for our channel. You can find all. I guess we have 4 different types of shows we do. We haven't done a Thunderdome podcast in a while. I know I owe you guys one. Lightning have been playing terrible as of late, and I just haven't been motivated to talk about it. Of course, $10 Sports, what you're listening to now, Bucking Hangover, and then we'll have some of our kind of a variety show every once in a while, a live show, the Balls, Brews, and Bros show. We'll throw on there, as well as when sports get a little bit slow. We'll kind of just talk about what some of the big topics are in sports. But I think the biggest news, as you'll see above on our top ticker, you can now listen to our podcast on your favorite podcast streaming location, whether you use Apple Podcasts, if you're an iPhone user. Google Podcasts has it as well. And my personal favorite, I love listening to podcasts on Spotify. They have a great collection of professional podcasts, and of course amateur podcasts like ours get on there pretty easily. So Spotify has been a great partner to get the word out on us as well. So definitely.
And also,
yeah.
as you talked in the last show, for all these high tech people here, what's a way they can listen to us too? They can even ask. Was it Google Home to find us?
Yeah, you can ask your Google device, your Alexa device. I accidentally said the key words, and my Google went crazy during our last live episode of Bucking Hangover. So you can ask Google to look for $10 Sports, and it'll actually look that up. And if you have one of the Google hubs, it'll bring you to YouTube, and you can watch us on your Google Hub in your bedroom if you're into that. If you like $10 Sports late at night with both of us watching you in your bedroom. We can do that too.
Absolutely.
So let's get going on our picks last week. A little bit of a disaster. Let's look at your picks from last week, Mike. 2 and 3, so 2 out of 5 correct. Packers calling that one, and the Bucks, not surprisingly, against the Jaguars. A little bit of a disappointment from the Jets. You were giving me a hard time about the Browns, and I forgot that you picked the Browns, telling me that you didn't understand my Browns pick. You also had the Browns. And then, of course, Carolina with a -10 there. Guide us through your thought process and probably your disappointment.
Well, I don't know where to start here. We start with the Carolina Panthers, who, you know what, this loss was so shocking that even a great head coach got fired from it. They lost to Washington Redskins, one of the worst teams in the league, who also, like you said, they're responsible for two coaches being fired.
Two coaching fatalities this year with Jay Gruden and now Ron Rivera down the tubes.
Yep. So this is one that I don't think anybody in the football or the betting community saw coming. The Redskins pulling up this upset and beating the Carolina Panthers with Christian McCaffrey as well. I didn't really look too far into the stats of that game. I just saw that they lost, and I didn't want to look any more beyond that. But that's one that was one that I would say a good 80% of bettors out there probably lost on or probably picked. Browns, this was another 21. Browns actually, seemed like they were getting their stuff together. And they had Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Steelers were on a first-time starting third string
quarterback. And I mean, because I also had the Browns, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought that was. I think we on our last episode of $10 Sports were like, this is your gift of the week from Vegas. Browns only 2.5 against the Steelers with a third string quarterback.
It was at Pittsburgh, so I guess that maybe was the difference there.
There was no weather. Like, it was a perfectly fine day in Pittsburgh, and the crowd. There's no way the crowd has that big of an effect.
And Baker Mayfield did suffer like a bit of a wrist or hand injury too, so probably hindered him completing passes as well. But yeah, that's another one which we were both pretty confident on. And then the Jets, Jets playing against the Bengals. Bengals were winless all year. Jets looked really good the week before against the Raiders, but they beat the Raiders by 20 plus points. And they come in here playing against the Bengals. This was another one I thought was a quote-unquote gift at -3.5 against a winless team that we all assumed was tanking for Joe Burrow to make sure they locked that up. But I guess the Dolphins have won enough games that they were okay winning one.
Yeah, they can win some games now. They wanted to win so bad that they brought back Andy Dalton, which I think in retrospect maybe I wouldn't have picked the Jets. I think. I don't know if they had announced Andy Dalton by last Wednesday. So maybe we made that pick. I was
assuming that was that Finley guy.
Exactly. I think we made that pick a little prematurely, and I think that's the bad part of getting your picks done early, unfortunately. Some of the news changes later on in the week, and you're kind of stuck with what you have.
But Andy Dalton, I think Jet Bengals may be doing him a little bit of favor. I think he's pretty much done there with Cincinnati, but bringing him in, letting him audition for another team, I thought was if that's the thought process, a very classy move there. He looked pretty good. 243 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. He got, Joe Mixon looked pretty good as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They actually had a running game this time. So it's amazing what happens when you have a running game.
So, I guess you kind of want to play it safe and maybe bench Andy Dalton if you get too close to the Dolphins and want that number one pick. But yeah, Bengals, Jets. Sam Darnold. I don't even think he scored a touchdown. No, there was no touchdowns. Looks like there was only 2 field goals scored by the Jets. Which Sam Darnold was looking pretty good and had a favorable matchup, but just didn't live up to it.
But that's a team I just don't understand either, because they were coming. They won like 2 or 3 in a row or something. Like they were literally playing good football. Like they beat the living crap out of the Raiders. I mean, again, the Raiders. I think part of that was traveling west to East Coast, but I mean they look like a real football team against the Raiders, and then you're gonna do this. You drop a
Yeah,
big.
they
I
beat the
was
Redskins the week before, by 2 touchdowns and a little bit more than 2 touchdowns, and they beat the Giants
right.
the week before that. I mean, not saying that they're great teams, but those no those
Confidence
Redskins
boosters.
and Giants, are teams equivalent, maybe slightly better than the Bengals. So, they got the Dolphins next week, and see how that goes. Which I will not be touching that game myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
We'll look at our upcoming game soon, and now it's the time for the walk of shame for me.
I've
Let's.
done here Buccaneers game like we discussed. That was a I felt like that was a give me. I mean, Buccaneers defense been looking pretty good, and Jaguars not so hot. And then the Packers, I mean, they're playing against the Giants. I think that's just a give me there.
Yeah, that was an easy cover as well. So moving on to Moose's picks from last week. Big four X's on there. We got to get some sound effects for the X. Let me play an X there. Terrible 1-4. Price is Right losing horns.
No good.
No good. And I know I was texting you because I was so mad at the Jets because I was pretty confident in the Patriots. I was pretty confident in the
Yeah,
Browns.
hey, the Patriots game. Remember last week I said I would not touch the Patriots because the Texans know them pretty well, little Brian. I didn't pick the Texans on mine. I said I was going to stay away from that game. I haven't told you. Don't be surprised the Texans pull this win off.
Yeah, and I guess the Texans are on the upswing because they had a little bit of a rough patch, and maybe just basing my judgments on the rough patch they've experienced. So, yeah, it was an interesting game. I think they're starting to get to full strength, and they're kind of looking scary heading into this last quarter of the season. Could this be the year that they finally don't lay a total egg in the playoffs? Because we all know, we all wait for that first round game. It's Texans complimentary winners of the AFC South every year because that division is not great, and then they play their first game against like a 12-4 5 seed because all the other divisions are so strong, and then they get destroyed. So hopefully this is not the year. This will be the year where we see the Texans move on, and I'll be rooting for that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too sad that the Patriots are having a hard time right now. We've talked about it on this show and even the Bucking Hangover. I don't think the Patriots still even have a good win. I mean, what are they, 10-2 right now? Are the Patriots one of the 10-2 teams?
10-2 teams. Yep.
What are their good wins? Like Buffalo by one
I don't know
with a call that didn't go Buffalo's way. I mean, that's their
I
best
don't know if
win.
you want to say the Cowboys 13-9.
That was just an ugly game that the Cowboys should have won that game. I think that was more officiating there as well.
And then the Eagles 17-10.
Hey, Eagles are
Barely beat
a
the
terrible
Eagles.
team.
But they're Carolina. I mean, well, that's preseason.
It's the Bills. The
But I mean,
Bills are
I
their.
think their best win was Week 1 against the Steelers with a healthy Ben Roethlisberger at the time, 33-3.
Yeah.
And Juju was still healthy. I mean, Connor was healthy. I mean, that's before the Steelers got that Mika Fitzpatrick there, who appeared to be a game changer. But Bills, I guess, 16-10 is probably the most impressive win. They lost to the Ravens, and they just lost to the Texans here. They got the Chiefs next week, so I mean, they do have the Chiefs. They'll probably end up finishing the season, 13-3 because
Their usual 12-4. I think they lose to the. I picked the Chiefs straight up on this for this week. Spoiler alert! If you're keeping score out there, I think they lose to the Chiefs. I don't care if it's in New England.
And then they got the Bengals a week after that, and then the Bills after that, and then the Dolphins. So
I think they lose to the Bills. Is it in Buffalo this time around?
No, it's in New England.
God. Come on, Bills. I believe in you, Bills. 12-4 Patriots. That's what I want to see. So Patriots pick, it is what it is. We talked already. Yeah, we had a lot of mutual picks, actually. I didn't notice that. But we talked about the Jets. I thought that was a surefire pick. Same thing with the Browns. What are we gonna do about the Los Angeles Chargers? Like, why do I keep getting drawn into picking the Los Angeles Chargers? I keep telling myself every week that we're done. We're done with them. And then they get a semi-favorable matchup, and then all of a sudden Drew Lock comes out of nowhere. Hey, guys, I'm good. Uh, it's about time that John Elway gets it right, maybe. At least for one game, Drew Lock's looking like he is who we all thought he was. But what do we do about the Chargers, man? I got to stay away from them going on.
I think part of the Chargers is we look at it historically the past like 3 or 4 years. They start off the season like 1-5, 0-4, 2-4, and then they go like on a massive winning streak, sneak into the wild card, and they make the playoffs and usually lose the first, second round. So we're very used to the Chargers doing that, and we're just saying, okay, this is the point where they turn it around. They win out, they go on their winning streak and beat everybody. But I think we're starting to realize that maybe that time is not coming, and that is not going to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
down and out for this year.
The offensive line's pretty beat up. They did get Derwin James back, but it's just the offensive line is just not where it's usually. They lost Pouncey, I believe, for the season, and a couple, maybe like another player or two there on the offensive line. And they got a great, pass rush with Melvin Ingram and Joey Boza, but yeah, I think this is just need to kind of. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they bench Philip Rivers here coming soon. I think their backup is Tyrod Taylor. Come in, see if he brings a spark to the offense.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I was thinking about him the other day for some reason. I was like, where did Tyrod Taylor end up? But yeah, I think you're right. He's the backup to Philip Rivers. So another disappointing week for the boys here. I swear, we're going to hit one of these $10 parlays before the season's up. We got 4 more chances to do it, and I'm sure we'll gamble a little bit over the playoffs as well. But I want to hit one of these. I want to hit one of our $10 parlays. And hopefully week 14 is the week to do it in. Before we get to our picks, though, let's take a look at the games for this week. Starting out with an interesting matchup Thursday night. Cowboys visiting the Bears. I think we were joking around a little bit earlier on Bucking Hangover where does a loss to the Bears, maybe that precludes a Jason Garrett firing in the middle of the season finally? Or potentially. Potentially. I think this one I stayed away from, I believe, at least on the $10 parlay. I think I might have taken the Bears on my teaser, potentially. We'll have to check the tape on that. But I wanted to stay away from this one. I guess if I had to make a pick, if you're holding a gun to my head, I guess I'll take the Cowboys money line. I don't even want to take that spread, so the Cowboys money line for that one. What are your thoughts?
On this one, I mean, the Bears, I don't like their offense at all. Their pass defense has been very, very suspect lately. Good rush defense, but I don't like their passing, so I probably would have taken the Cowboys, and I wouldn't mind taking the spread as well.
Then, of course, Redskins Packers, kind of a big spread there. Packers heavy favorites. 12 o'clock game, another 12 o'clock game that could be the game of the week. 49ers and Saints. We saw 49ers in Baltimore last week. I think it was a 12 o'clock or a 1 p.m. start, I should say. I got my central times here. 49ers and Saints. Close spread. It's basically even. Who are you taking on this one?
This is one I would probably stay away from if you're a bettor here, because this one can go either way. The way Drew Brees has been looking lately, he hasn't been looking at his normal self. If I was to take a team here with the pass rush of San Francisco 49ers, I'd probably lean San Francisco on this one.
Leaning San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take the Saints. I think they're overdue for a big game. That atmosphere at the Superdome goes.
Absolutely.
It's a game changer. The Saints have been quiet. No one's really been talking about the Saints. They're your de facto number 1 seed right now in the NFC. Everyone's really the Seahawks and the 49ers have been sitting the 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 limelight this year. I'm liking the Saints in a statement game. I think I took them on the money line for the parlay. Again, spoiler alert. I'm liking the Saints. I'm picking my NFC South brethren here. Moving to Broncos Texans, which on paper looks like it should be a Texans win, but you just never know those Broncos. They've gotten me a couple times this year.
Yeah, and Drew Lock, I mean, he looked pretty good against the Chargers. I don't know if this momentum carries over, if the chemistry is building there. So this is another one that I would probably just stay away from, play it safe.
Lions and Vikings. Vikings kind of up and down. They looked okay last week.
Yeah, they looked okay. They have Lions with I believe a third string quarterback now. Is that correct?
Yeah, and he actually looked pretty decent in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, but the Vikings have such a great run game, and the
Lions defense
Lions,
is trash.
yeah, and they're especially their run defense. So this one I wouldn't mind taking that. Just 12.5, such a big spread.
Yeah, I don't like the 12 and a half. I think I either tease this one to make the spread a little bit more bearable, or I mean, it's not. I don't even know if it's worth the money to take the Vikings straight up at -750. I think you probably tease that to split the difference to make a little bit of money there. 12 and a half though. That's a lot. I don't know. I like the way
touchdowns.
I like the way the backup quarterback was playing, man. Maybe you take the Lions plus 12 and a half. I think they could keep it within 12 and a half.
And you got the Colts and Buccaneers. Buccaneers coming off what Moose likes to call a premature winning streak.
It's a streak.
Well, he says winning streak, but I think it's premature. I think you need 3 for a winning streak.
So what do you call 2 wins in a row?
It was just what you just said. 2 wins in a row.
It's a streak.
No, it's called just back-to-back wins.
Back-to-back wins. All right, we'll call it back-to-back wins. Aiming for the 3-game winning streak against the Colts. I think I'll take the Buccaneers here if I had to. Colts down a few weapons. Their defense has been a little bit suspect. I'm liking the Bucs here.
That we talked about earlier, making our bets and stuff like that early could change, and T.Y. Hilton could play, and so can Marlon Mack. You never know, but as of right now, with the information we know now, Marlon Mack and T.Y. Hilton's out, down a couple weapons. Jacoby Brissett has been not that great lately. I'd probably feel pretty comfortable taking the Bucs with their front seven and the way their secondaries actually looked the past couple of weeks. And our offense, I mean, has looked pretty decent too. If Jameis Winston can limit those turnovers, I think this is a good Buccaneers win right here.
Then NFC South matchup: Panthers Falcons, kind of battle for the bottom. As the Panthers might be on the way down.
Yeah.
I think you took the Panthers.
Surprisingly, Panthers are +3. They're actually the underdogs in this game, which is kind of crazy. You think about it. Go back to 5 weeks ago. I mean, this would be probably Panthers -9 or something like that. So I mean, they're definitely taking a lot of steps back. I'm not sure which team is going to show up for either side. So this one's one I probably would stay away from. But like you said, if you had to pick one, I'd probably go with the Panthers straight up.
Ravens Browns, another interesting 1 p.m. game. No respect for the Bills. +6.5. That's. I mean, I know it's the Ravens, the number 1 scoring offense, but Bills' defense is nothing to sneeze at. Their margin of defeat is definitely on average less than a touchdown. So they've played close games, and that's usually a safe under bet as well. I think I would take the Bills here on the spread, to be honest with you. I don't know if they win the game, but I think they keep it within a touchdown.
Yeah. No, I think the Ravens have been on fire. And if you watch a few of their past few games, they're looking a little cocky too. I think this is they just beat the 49ers, and the week before that, I forgot who they beat. Was the Rams. They manhandled the Rams. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, this is a game where they kind of, get back to reality. The Bills have been playing some hard-nosed football. Another thing about the Bills, very similar to the Patriots, who have they really beaten this year? I know they just came off a good Thanksgiving win against the Cowboys. But yeah, I'd probably, I'm with you. I take the Bills on the spread on this one.
Then NFC or AFC North matchup: Bengals Browns.
Oh wait, going back to
Yeah.
just thinking about the Patriots and the um, Bills. If the Patriots can pull that off, I mean, if the Bills can pull that off, they could potentially win the division.
Oh, really?
They're 9-3, the only one game behind the Patriots.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be. That would be wow. The Bills could pull out. The Bills Mafia would go insane, taking that division. I don't
They
even
wouldn't
know
be
the.
breaking tables anymore. They'll find something else to break.
Bengals Browns, probably a game I hope isn't featured too much on Red Zone this week. Uh, Browns -8. I don't know. It's just the way they Browns
And
always
the
find a way to
Browns
disappoint. So I'm not even touching that one.
and the Browns actually beat the Bills earlier this year, 19-16.
Right?
Like you said, a margin of victory is very slim. And the Eagles, yeah, that's the thing about the Bills, man. Their losses, they only have 3 losses. One was against the Browns, one against the Eagles, and the Patriots. Like those are their losses.
Yeah.
But
That Eagles loss keeps looking worse and worse as the weeks go on. Uh, Dolphins Jets, I think, could be interesting. Could the Dolphins make it to 4 wins? That would be interesting. That would ruin their plans for tanking.
and Moose, speaking of spoiler alerts, I really realized all your picks you have them highlighted.
Well, those are actually the teaser picks.
Okay.
Yeah, the teasers. Yeah, they're in
Better
blue.
now.
So yeah,
Feel
spoiler
better now.
alert, everybody. Those are my teaser picks. Then you of course add 6 points in my favor, and then we'll go over the teaser shortly. But yeah, those are the teaser picks that are
Okay.
that are picked right now. Good observation.
All right, but yeah, so what were you saying about the Dolphins Jets?
Yeah, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are a fun team to watch. I kind of look forward to when we get the alerts for them on Red Zone. It's Fitzpatrick making some magic happen. Was it Parker had an amazing game last
Yeah,
week.
it's had a good
They're having
few
fun. You know what? They're having fun. I think we were. It was funny. I guess we were all making fun of him so much at the beginning of the year, and was Brian Flores going to stick around, and he's letting them have fun. I think they're owning what they're doing this year. I think it was no surprise that they weren't going to be good this year. But you got punters throwing touchdown passes to kickers. I mean, it's been fun to see the Dolphins. So hopefully they end up pulling it off against the Jets, who again we don't know what to expect. Chargers, Jaguars. Screw you, Chargers. I'm not touching any games with you ever again. Big game on the 4 p.m. slots. Your Chiefs against the Patriots. I think the Chiefs take this one easily.
Yeah, I mean, just based on what we've seen, they can't. It seems like whenever the Patriots play a good team, they can't handle it. Hence the Texans, and I guess it could even be you can even say it's mobile quarterback thing. They can't handle the mobile quarterback.
Right.
We got Mahomes who pretty much do it all. He's a magician back there. So this will be an interesting game to watch. And I'm with you on this one. I think this is one the Patriots may lose, regardless of it being in Foxborough or not.
Steelers, Cardinals. Not really interested in that one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's only at 4 because it's a Cardinals home game. Titans Raiders, I think, could be kind of interesting. I haven't checked the Raiders' schedule and when their last home game is for the last game of the Coliseum in Oakland. There, so they got to be creeping up on it. I hope this isn't it. I think they probably have one more game left. We might have to take a quick gander at the final home game for the Raiders. I think week 17. They're away weeks. I think it's going to be week 16. No, week 15. They got the Jaguars next week.
Yep.
Final home game in Oakland for the Raiders before they head over to Las Vegas next year. Hopefully, the location for the annual man trip next year. Hopefully, we get over to Las Vegas to see the Bucks and Raiders.
And I'm kind of leaning towards Bucks at Broncos.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see we'll see what the dates, how everything lines up. We can't really make that decision until
we got
schedule's
birthdays.
released.
Exactly. So My vote's for Las Vegas, but we'll see where we end up. But anyway, Titans Raiders could be interesting. Tannehill looking a little more human last week.
Yeah.
He had been on an absolute tear. Kind of a loss for the Titans last week. Who did they play last week? Gotta refresh my memory. Where are you, Titans? Were they were one of the early games? Did they play last week? Were they on bye last week?
No, they won last week. They beat the Colts.
Right. Yeah. But I swear I remember Tannehill struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't look. He just didn't know. He had 182.
Oh, it was Derrick Henry.
Touchdowns.
Derrick Henry carried. That's right. Derrick
Yeah.
Henry had another monster game, but looking human last week. I knew I wasn't going crazy, so maybe a bounce back against the Raiders, who again have looked suspect as well. Seahawks should. This was kind of weird, and again, maybe this is us reading into it too much. Seahawks only -1 against the Rams.
That's one of our. It's one of those gifts.
That is a slam dunk if there ever was one. Of course, I'm sure we'll be crying about it next week. How we didn't see it coming. That the Rams dropped 50 on the Seahawks and destroy them, and then
they are utilizing Gurley a lot more.
Right?
So.
Yeah, I think the quote was Sean McVay isn't an idiot. I think is his quote that he used, and he's going to use Gurley more apparently. Then closing out Monday Night Football with the Giants-Eagles. The return of Eli Manning.
Yep, Eli Manning's back.
He is back. Was Daniel Jones hurt?
Yeah, he's had an injury.
He was hobbling a little bit last week. So Eli Manning's back to close out his career with the Giants and potentially his NFL career the last few weeks of the season. Not sure if that makes a big difference. I was kind of surprised to see the spread still that big, knowing that Eli was coming in. I guess no faith by the bettors for Eli being in the game. No regard for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. -9.5 is kind of a big spread. I kind of wouldn't mind taking the Giants on that spread, actually, because the Eagles have not been looking that great either. I mean, they just lost to the Dolphins.
Yep.
Come on.
So that's it for the slate of games. Let's see what we have for our picks. And let's start with MRod. We're going to start with your picks. There's your slate. You went with the 6th spot again. You're going big. Hopefully shooting for $600. Talk us through some of your picks here.
Dallas versus the Bears, -3 here. The Bears, just their offense is not that great. Their pass defense is not that, in my opinion, not that great either. But their rush defense is good, so I think it's a game where kind of Ezekiel Elliott takes a little bit of a backseat, kind of put the ball in Dak Prescott's hand. Mari Cooper, Randall Cobb should have a big game here. Michael Gallup as well. I think after coming off the loss to the Bills, Jason Garrett's pretty much going to be playing the rest of the season for his job. And also, also a playoff spot. I mean, given that they are first place in their division
by default.
By default.
No one wants to win that division.
So this is one of the Cowboys, kind of bounce back and win pretty comfortably here. We got the Texans here. I took the Texans on the money line. Didn't like the size of the spread too much, so I took them on the money line. Broncos got their quarterback, Drew Lock, making his second career start. Texans are at home, so I think this is a game the Texans will win. I just wasn't really too sure about the spread. Seahawks and the Rams. Seahawks have been playing really well, unlike the Rams. I know the Rams had didn't they win last week? They had a nice little bounce back game with Gurley. Let's see here.
Yeah, last week Rams beat
34-7. They beat the Cardinals. So
yeah, so that was
impressed. But still, they've been having some struggles there with the Rams and the way the Seahawks have been playing lately. I don't really see them losing that game, especially a -1. So that was kind of like a gift in my opinion, even if it's in the Coliseum. The Bills, this is one that I'm kind of taking a stretch on. It's the Bills versus the Ravens. Like I said earlier, this is Ravens has been really hot. Bills have been, they're quietly. I mean, I think if you told somebody the Bills are 9-3, I mean, how many people are going to believe you? They're going to do a double take to go check the schedule, see if they really are 9-3. A very quiet team, and as Moose brought up, the margin of victory has been less than a touchdown. So I went ahead. I took the Bills straight up. I think this is going to be like the surprise game of the week. I think they hold Lamar Jackson in place and pull off a victory here, even if it's by a field goal or something like that. So I'm taking a big risk here, taking them taking them on the plus 215 here. So we'll see how that turns out. And then my next pick, Moose. I feel like I'm missing a team here. What's going on?
Yeah, you had your 6 teams here, right? Got the Giants there and the Panthers.
I don't see the Giants.
Giants are there.
Why is it? They blended in or something? I don't. I guess it must be like on my screen. I don't see the Giants on the top. Um, but yeah, I took the Giants here, playing against the
9.5.
9.5 spread. Um, and I just both teams haven't been playing that well. I think this game's gonna be a little bit closer to 9.5. So I took the Giants here, and this was before I even realized that Eli Manning's playing. But like Moose said, I don't think it really matters. I think they're both the same quality quarterback at this point. Daniel Jones has that potential to get better, but at this point, I think they're kind of like a wash. And they Giants should be able to cover a 9.5 spread. And then I got the Panthers going up against Atlanta. Panthers, I mean, got Christian McCaffrey, still got the same pass rush that they've had. So I'm going to go ahead and, that's a 13 and a half. Is that 13 and a half? Oh, no, that's plus 135.
Yeah, you took him on the money
So
line.
I took the Panthers here straight up on the money line.
Great. So good luck. Hopefully you cash in on those $600. One of us has to hit one of these parlays before the end of the year. Let's move over to Moose's picks. And I've got, like I've been saying, I'm taking the Chiefs on the money line to beat the New England Patriots. Still don't think the Patriots have played anyone worthwhile or beaten anyone worthwhile.
Right. They're all about the money line this week.
I've been taking the money line, and I'm leaving the spread picks for the most part on the teaser, but I want to do the money line here. Taking the Chiefs straight up, slight underdogs. Taking the Saints straight up to beat the 49ers at home. Slight favorites there at home. I took the Texans as well, and I took them on the money line. I didn't like that spread, and I just didn't even want to play with it. Browns, same thing. Didn't like the -8, though. I think they can cover that. I don't even want to play with that with the Browns. Of course, for all we know, they're probably going to end up losing and costing the whole thing. But Dolphins, I'm calling it. Dolphins plus 200, taking them to beat the Jets straight up. So I think that's my stretch for the week is the Dolphins.
So the Dolphins are going to sweep, in your opinion, they're going to sweep the Jets in New York in the snow.
Yeah.
Taking the beach up to the snow and winning one here.
Right. That's what I think is going to happen. Dolphins are going to have some fun in the snow.
On their fourth or fifth string running back, Laird.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know that affected my fantasy team, but doesn't matter. Fitzmagic, trick plays. That's all you need to know about the Dolphins. $175 on the docket if we hit this. I think, Mike, I know deep down I know the Dolphins are a terrible pick, but wanted to have fun with them, at least for week 14. Your teaser only went with 6 games this time. Just I don't know. I didn't really like enough games to make it an 8-way teaser on this one. Took the Seahawks, Chiefs, Texans, Browns, Saints, and Bucks. And that's been teased 6 points, so we're getting Seahawks +5, Chiefs +9, Texans -3, Browns -2, Saints +3.5, and Bucks +3. Put $20 on that one. I think that pays me $180 if I do the 20. So a little bit of not the best return on your bang for your buck, but hopefully we hit one of these earlier this year, so if we can hit this again, that would definitely make up for the losses I've had the last few weeks. Some of our over-under picks as well. 1 p.m. We got the Bears Cowboys game, which is our Thursday night game tomorrow. I'm liking under 43.5 for them. I think 49ers Saints is going to go over the 44.5 that they have combined for them. And then I'm liking over 43 for Vikings Lions. Any thoughts, MRod?
I kind of agree with for once on these over-unders.
So I got to make sure I put them in the bank. I was just picking them. I got to make sure I put them in. Maybe we can win a couple bucks here on these. Late game over-unders. I like over 49. A little bit of a shootout. Chiefs, Patriots. I'm taking the under on Titans Raiders. Under 46.5. And under 47.5 for Seahawks Rams. Because I just think defense is going to take care of business for the Seahawks. I don't think the Rams are going to score much. And I'm liking it to stay under the 47.5.
I agree on all of them except for the Rams Seahawks. I think that one's gonna be more of a shootout.
Think it's gonna be over?
Yeah, I would go.
Very good.
Yeah, like 25, like in a 20 or 30. Yeah, it's good. I'd say I would go with the over on that one.
Excellent. Then, yeah, brings us to the end of our podcast, our vlog. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for sticking it out. If you saw us live or if you're watching this later on as a replay, we appreciate you watching our show. Of course, you can always watch our live shows or pre-recorded shows on YouTube on our channel. And then you can find us at Balls, Brews, and Bros. You can always search for our shows as well. The Bucking Hangover, $10 Sports, that'll bring it up. As well as the Thunderdome Puckcast. I know I owe us a Thunderdome Puckcast. It's been about a week and a half since our last episode. Hoping to record that tomorrow or Friday to get us caught up with the ups and downs that the Lightning have been having recently. And then, of course, you can listen to our audio podcast, the same recording of our video on your usual podcasts programs, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can listen to us safely now on the road instead of watching videos on YouTube and listening to us on the go. Make sure you're using your podcast application that you like. Make sure if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like on the video as well if you like what you see, or if any of our advice helped you out at all on the gambling front. We always like to know that we're making someone, at least, even if it's not us, a few bucks here and there. So again, that's been it for Moose and MRod for $10 Sports. We will see you next week. Good luck on week 14.
Yeah, have a great weekend and hopefully make some money here. I know I got a $600 potential. We'll see what happens. And there's your cat.
Yeah, she came out. She heard about the closing of $10 Sports. She wanted to make an appearance, so she's jumping off and heading off. So have a great night.
Is that your rally cat like the Giants had?
That's right. It's a rally cat. I wish I had the play call on that one, like they had during the broadcast of that one. All right, everybody. It's been it for $10 Sports. Moose and MRod. We'll see you next week. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at $10 Sports and at Balls, Brews, Bros for MRod. We'll see you next week. Good luck.
Have a good week. Bye.
$10
Sports.